It's Thursday the 5th of January and welcome to From the South. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has named an ex-security minister as his vice president, who would become head of state if Maduro were removed from office this year. He named Tarek El-Aissami, a powerful state governor who had cracked down on drugs gangs in his time as minister.
We're just outside the entrance of the Asamblea Nacional. This is the first session for 2017. Julio Borges, who is an opposition senator, who represents the state of Miranda, will be sworn in as helm of this legislative branch of government. Now, over the past year, there have been intense disagreements here between the government and the opposition since they won a majority here in the Asamblea Nacional. And observers say that the opposition hasn't been able really to coalesce and come together to do any work. And here, previously, he'll be taking over for Henry Ramos, who is an opposition stalwart. Now, Borges recently said in an interview that this is not a place for bickering, but to address the issues of the country and its people. Now, whether or not he will be able to pull together his forces, his coalition, and get some work done is to be seen, or if we're going to see a lot more of what we did in 2016. This is Regan Veens at the Asamblea Nacional in Caracas, Venezuela, for teleSUR English.
PSUV Senator Hector Rodriguez spoke with the media after Julio Borges was sworn in. He referenced the new head's renewed fight against President Nicolas Maduro and his government, saying if opposition aggression continues as it did in 2016, the new head will accomplish nothing in trying to oust the government.
It is sad because this National Assembly could be a space for meeting and dialogue to unite all the forces of the revolution and the force, which we recognize the opposition has, to resolve concrete problems. However, the political blindness of the coup plotters, the anti-democratic attitude, and the hunger to be the presidential candidate means the opposition leaders are useless.
Bolivian authorities are demanding the assistance of Celia Castelo Monasterios. She is the Bolivian air navigation assistant who found refuge in Brazil after it was alleged that her negligence contributed in the Chapecoense plane crash. She said that she had reported 5 irregularities in the flight plan, but that only the Bolivian Civil Aviation Authority had the power to prevent the plane from taking off. 71 people died in the crash. Brazilian President Michel Temer has issued a formal apology to the families of the 56 inmates who lost their lives during Monday's prison riot in Manaus. This comes in the face of harsh criticism for a much-needed prison reform system. Temer announced the federal government would spend some $250 million to build at least one prison in each of Brazil's 26 states to deal with chronic overcrowding blamed for a string of deadly riots. During a Senate hearing, United States spy chiefs said that the hacking of Democratic Party computers was just a single part of a multifaceted campaign by Russia to disrupt the American presidential election. US President-elect Donald Trump continues to question the evidence of Russian meddling in the elections. Dozens of protesters gathered at the blast site in western Turkey's Izmir, shouting slogans against the PKK. Authorities have suggested the group was behind the car bomb attack. Officials say suspected PKK militants detonated their vehicle after it was stopped at a checkpoint, killing a police officer and a court employee. At least 11 people were killed in a car bomb attack on the coastal Syrian town of Jable. According to state media, some 35 others were injured. Jable's hospital director said among the injured, around 30 people were in critical condition. Staff from Charlie Hebdo joined French politicians for a ceremony in Paris to remember the victims of the attacks on the satirical newspaper. Parisian Mayor Anne Hidalgo and French Interior Minister Bruno Le Roux joined the staff at the ceremony, which took place at the former offices of the publication. On January 7, 2015, 2 Islamist gunmen opened fire during an editorial meeting, killing 12. Gambian leader Yahya Jammeh has accused West African regional body ECOWAS of declaring war after it said it was putting forces on alert in case he refused to step down. Jammeh has vowed to stay in power despite losing a December 1st election to rival Adama Barrow. The sub-zero temperatures and biting winds didn't seem to deter locals and adventurous tourists from taking a dip into the freezing waters in Harbin City, northern China. Roughly 400 enthusiasts from 34 amateur groups from China and abroad braved the icy waters to compete in the competition, which is part of Harbin's annual Ice and Snow Festival. More on these and other stories on our website telesurtv.net/English.